Right, so it's me again. I thought I'd do another video while I'm on it, about the postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome and my Hickman line. I have purely just IV fluid. So I want to go through, I've written it all down again so I don't forget it. I want to go through why I have it and how I got it in the UK and how mum is able to give me the IV fluid at home, without me needing to go into hospital. Obviously, I'd go into hospital if I needed to, like if things were out of control, I need to go in. But anyway, so the main reason is because my veins are messed up. You can't get a cannula in me, and that's mainly by having IV fluid in hospital or paramedics coming out to give it to me. Um, uh, It also, so I was having constant paramedics come out. You know, it could be 2, 3 times a week to give me my IV fluid. It was getting a bit ridiculous, especially for them because they literally here give me IV fluid and go again. So that was one of the reasons as well to have to hit my line. Um, uh, but yeah, so obviously if I'm ill with like an infection or whatever, and the IV fluid wasn't working, and my seizures are out of control, and the emergency rescue medication for the seizures, which I'll do another video on because it's completely different drugs to reduce a seizure. None of that was working. They would take me down to the hospital, but the majority of the time, the fluid works now. You know, even if it is that I have 3 litres on that day. But now mum's able to give the fluid and trained to give it through the Hickman line, and we have all the supply here. It's reduced my ambulance calls a hell of a lot, and like I said, they only will be called if I have an infection and the seizures are out of control. Then it'd be a trip down to hospital and possibly a stay. But that was literally the only time. You know, compare that to 3 calls a day, 3 calls a week to maybe once every 2 months, just depending how I am and if I have an infection, and regarding the seizures with the infection and the POTS. And also, I was so bad, my consultant noticed I was so bad I could not function whatsoever. I was struggling so much with my POTS, a lot. And we noticed when I was having the IV fluid from the paramedics, I'd buck up so much, my function would be so much better. And without the fluid, my functioning would be really bad, my seizures would be worse, and my POTS all around would be worse. So he noticed that, and that was another reason for the Hickman line to put in, so I could have more fluid when I needed it. Um, uh, so yeah, mum's trained up for it. Sorry, I'm a bit slow, yeah. Yeah, so the only time an ambulance has come out now is if I got an infection or mum's done all the treatment of the reflex and seizures and organic seizures, done all the step-by-step treatment, which is the weird drugs and the fluid, then she'll have to call an ambulance. But if it gets to that stage, it's usually because I got an infection, so they would have to blue light me down to hospital, and they would have to give me a higher dose of the medication mum can give me at home, called glycopronium, and that can be done in resus. And then I say usually then there's an infection going on if it gets to that stage. Um, so yeah, it's just amazing to see a difference and a difference in my life being able to have the fluid. Like I can have it prophylactic as well. To say I was going on a long drive somewhere with mum, I can have a litre put through before we go. So it keeps my POTS at bay and the seizures on the whole travel. And yeah, I know it comes with its risks, Hickman line. You know, you've got the risk of infection and infection travelling down to the heart because this is in the artery going to the heart. Then if that happens, you're probably pretty much dead, especially if it wasn't caught on time. So, you know, it can be serious infections if you get an infection in it. But I weigh up the risk to be able to function better because if I wasn't having this fluid, I wouldn't be able to do the things I'm doing now. yeah, I still do have really crappy days, and a lot of really crappy days with the POTS and seizures. But I do have a hell of a lot of good days as well because of the fluid. And if I need the fluid, it gets me back up functioning really well. So, because my consultant saw all this change and all this, where I was reacting after fluid, he decided that, let's put in a Hickman line, get your mum trained up, and we do this at home. And we have a special rescue IV fluid care plan now done by my consultant for my mum to follow and how much fluid I can have a week and a day. So we've got that. So it's not just mum willy-nilly giving me fluid when she wants. There is a protocol for it. So protocol like if I'm ill, so I got a bug, my function isn't working, or I'm really weak, or prophylaxis going on a long drive, or I've done so much as well, and also if I get the pan dries, which I explained in another video, and also the fluid has helped at preventing the seizures as well. So the fluid helps by preventing the seizures, which is good because then I'm not needing drugs to get me out of seizure. My seizures are non-epileptic seizures, but organically driven, and it's by physical stimuli, infection. It could be misfiring of your autonomic nervous system, and or like infection or pain or whatever. But if it wasn't for this fluid at home, I'd be in hospital constantly. Hospitals 24/7. So having the fluid has really helped, and I know there's a risk, but it has saved so many hospital admissions. It's prevented so many seizures, prevented so many ambulances, and we have a protocol to go through. And yeah, I can't thank my consultant enough for letting me have this. I know it's not a massive thing in the UK. Doctors like giving out, especially to somebody so young, and a Hickman line for just IV fluid. IV fluid for therapy when you need it for POTS. So I know in the UK it isn't a huge thing. So I'm quite a lucky person. I'm a lucky person to be able to have got that. And I'm lucky there was training for mum to have as well. But yeah, so all because of the functioning and preventing the seizures and the cannula, my veins messed up, constant ambulances. My consultant saw this and decided to put the hickman line in, which my mum can give. So say I had a bug, mum can give me fluid here to help me rehydrate. But we got the protocol. But yeah, I'm lucky to have it, and it yeah, I feel lucky, and I know in America it's quite a big thing to have POTS. But if any of you guys, not POTS, have hickman lines, but any of you guys in the UK have hickman lines, drop it down in the comment and let me know. Because mine's purely used for IV fluids, But if I did need IV antibiotics, they will use that line as well for that. But yeah, definitely let me know down below if you have a Hickman line, a midline for IV fluid in the UK specifically for your postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. And also another reason why fluid helps is because it opens up our vessels and the blood volume and flow better, which then helps reduce our symptoms, and makes us feel better for a period of time. And also it helps with my non-epileptic organic seizures and reflex noxious seizures. So yeah, and that's why I have to Hickman line. Any questions of anything, please leave it down below in the comments, and I will try and answer as best as possible. I'm still planning on doing a video on all my medications for my postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, and I want to do a video about my seizures, the non-epileptic ones, organic ones, reflex noxious seizures, and the medications I have, and why those medications help. And yeah, and I do believe I've done an Ehlers-Danlos video for you guys already. So hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you very much.